This is the DNA of the most dangerous creature in the universe. And it's not going to stop until it's killed every living thing. Does it have a name? The Pating. Not the Pating again! Oh, that thing was a menace. No, I'm joking. It's actually a Dalek. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, no! Ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Resolution, which is the 2019 Doctor Who New Year special, and at this point in time it looks like it's going to be the only Doctor Who story in 2019, unless the next special goes back to Christmas, or there's a surprise extra episode this year. But if the special is 2020 New Year, which it probably will be, then that's it. Hopefully that does mean Series 12 will start mid to late January or early February. I think one source claimed it would be New Year's Day, so maybe we'll get Christmas special and then the series will start on New Year's Day. I mean, the first episode on New Year's Day wouldn't really work as a New Year's special. Not really, so I think if they're going to do that, then they should do a Christmas one as well. Just to have a special, and then off you go next week. In a similar way to Day of the Daleks and Planet of Evil started on the 1st of January, and Sherlock series 2, 3 and 4, as opposed to having a bumper episode that's also the special, and then the rest of the series. Unless they make these series 11 episodes, in which case you might get away with it. But otherwise, either push it back a few more weeks or have a Christmas special preceding that. Anyway, so in this episode, some archaeologists dig up a skeleton with some sort of thing in a bag, and they put the thing in the bag underneath the ultraviolet light, and that brings the other pieces of the creature together into life, and it comes back to life, and it's revealed to be a Dalek. A Dalek, well, mutant Dalek, and it attaches itself to the lady archaeologist, and it tries to get its way to a place where it can build a new casing with weapons. In the meantime, the Doctor and her companions arrive back in back in Sheffield to find out about it, and soon they're on a mission to try and stop the Dalek. Meanwhile, Ryan's dad pops back up to try and make amends with his son. Took him long enough, didn't it? So that's the basic plot of Resolution. And it's a good episode. It's really fun, it's really entertaining, and great to hear the Daleks again. Great to see the Daleks again. It has a nice one-off design that I really like. I don't think I would like it if it became the current design, if it became the overall new Dalek design. I think they've got to stick something a bit more traditional, like, well, pretty much normal Dalek design. Just, you can change the colour scheme, you can change some aspects about it, just make it stay looking like a Dalek. But this time round, for what it tried to look like, it works, and it's fine, it's good. So next time the Daleks appear, I don't think it'll be Series 12, but maybe Series 13, they could bring back the oldest design. The oldest design, just change the colour scheme if they wanted, and also the height and anything else, just keep it looking like the normal Dalek, more or less. Whilst this one, just for the one-off, it's fine. The two archaeologist characters are fine. Are very good. I really like their stories, and they have some good personalities. The woman one who gets controlled by the Dalek for a bit, she's good too. She's fun to watch, and it actually is quite I actually like the characters, so it's quite tensionous to watch her being controlled by the Dalek. Meanwhile, her friend, her colleague, and I guess now boyfriend, is also a very good additional companion, as is Ryan's dad at the end, and also the lady archaeologist when she gets unpossessed. they're good side characters. They good help. They help out. They're very good. Like them. Ryan's dad, I think there is a bit of attention put on him. There is a lot of him and Ryan talking in the first act about each other. I don't know if the plot really required it, apart from to have that emotional ending where Ryan had to save his dad from being sucked into the black hole with the Daleks. Spoiler alert. But without that whole ending, it might have not have been needed. They could have just blown up the Dalek, and then maybe they could have spent the rest of the runtime getting kind of sorting things out, and maybe the Doctor moves the casing into the TARDIS to be sorted or sent back to the weapons vault. But still effective. That's actually quite funny to see a Dalek being sucked into a black hole. Nice to see GHQ, where the communications thing is, in the Cheltenham one. Fun fact, that was actually formerly in Bletchley Park. Anyway, they need to do an episode at Bletchley Park at one point, or at least filmed there. It'll be cool. Anyway, so that's basically resolutions, and also the Dalek goes around killing people for a bit when it gets its new casing, and it tries to call the Dalek fleet. We only get to see the one Dalek, so the message never gets sent. And the Dalek then realises finds out about the Doctor. And my guess on how it knows about the Doctor is what they mentioned in the Peter Capaldi stories about how it has this overall Dalek network. How it, like with the Cybermen, which is the Cyber Hive, the Daleks had this hive mind alongside their standard one, so they could access that and gain knowledge. That's how the 12th Doctor was able to find out about the woman from New Earth, I think it was, about the glass people. So that's how he was able to do that in Twice Upon a Time. So I'm guessing they did the same here with the Dalek hive mind. That's my guess, I guess. But they don't. It doesn't recognise the Doctor straight away. It has to scan them first, and the Doctor reveals who she is, and then the Dalek's like, "You are an enemy of the Daleks. You will be exterminated," which is classic Dalek. So yeah, the Daleks don't have to recognise the Doctor on sight anymore. In fact, with this Dalek, I don't know if they'll recognise her next time, because this Dalek's message never got sent. Maybe its hive mind, maybe it never got in. Maybe they never got the message. With the second Doctor, they met him before his second encounter with them on screen. They would know him in Power of the Daleks from that, because they were Daleks that travelled after the events of Evil, the Daleks back in time. Well, they crashed back in time and then were awoken a bit later on, and that's when they met the second Doctor. So in terms of Dalek timeline, Evil the Daleks came first, Power the Daleks came next, and as far as the Daleks in that story were concerned, second Doctor, Power the Daleks came first, Evil the Daleks came second. So it's possible other Daleks know about 13 from an earlier point in time, for them, later for her, or if they get the message from the Dalek, or if they don't know, they'll just find out next time. Makes just about much sense. Worked for all the other incarnations, but sometimes the other times they just know some of them were the Doctor, so maybe they just found out. This is a good spot for expanded media to jump in. One thing I am a bit confused about is this. The 9th century, the Daleks have been buried on Earth since then, but it's a reconnaissance Dalek, and according to the Dalek handbook, the Daleks weren't born until around 1450 in Earth years. And the adventures of the Daleks, when the Dalek handbook, it's claimed it'd be 1963, but everybody else presumes it's even further in the timeline, which would inadvertently make Dalek Invasion of Earth a prequel rather than a sequel. And maybe the same could be gone for The Chase and maybe even Master Plan. But, I would like to place the Daleks before Invasion Earth. Or these ones don't get a wind of the situation. So yeah, this is kind of messing up Dalek continuity a little bit. Even if the Daleks was put earlier into the future, that makes it even worse. And the same for the Dalek Khaled War, unless there's an even bigger gap between them. I don't know if there's the Dalek Handbook isn't 100% accurate, I don't think, in terms of these timelines, so there's not really anything that's been placed accurately. Maybe it's travelled back in time, like the Lone Dalek did when it went in Dalek, the Metaltron Dalek did, and that went back to 1961, 2-ish. The Emperor Dalek's fleet went all the way to the future. And in the Stolen Earth Journey's End, the Daleks that survived that to appear in Victory of the Daleks went back in time. So, maybe it time travelled. I mean, it's possible they had time corridor technology by Resurrection of the Daleks. And, by Day of the Daleks. No, Evil of the Daleks, actually. They had time travel technology by Evil of the Daleks and their own TARDIS machine in The Chase. So, I guess maybe it used one or the other of those. Or emergency temporal shift, as seen in Doomsday. But yeah, I'm just curious. Maybe it did come from some point between 1450 and 1963 and just travel back in time to the 9th century where it was beaten up. Also, nice touch. The painting, the drawing in the book made it look like it was one of the gold Daleks. Although sadly it didn't look like one of the Genesis or the Daleks Dalek. So it wasn't grey or wasn't blue and silver. But it did look like a Dalek and it looked like a gold bronze one. So, nice little tie-in. It's alright, the Stephen Moffat years when they brought back older Daleks, they were in their newer models anyway. So there, Resolution. It's still really good, and there's a body count, so that's more than we said for Witches of Familiar and Magician's Apprentice, and I think it's a slightly bigger one than Into the Dalek. The last big body count was Stolen Earth Journey's End, but Into the Dalek probably had, there was a couple in Day of the Doctor and Time of the Doctor, and wouldn't really say there was many in Asylum of the Daleks. I don't think there was. There was there was 4 in Victory of the Daleks. There wasn't really anybody in the Series 9 opener apart from the Missy Clara ones, or so they thought at the time. And other Daleks don't count, by the way. Pilots, I think there might have been a small body count, but I think the closest to a big body count since the end of the Russell T Davies era has been Into the Dalek and this story, maybe this one more so. And yeah, it's nice to see the Dalek doing a body count. It gets to kill people with its tentacles. It kills 3 people as a mutant, and then when it gets its ray gun, it kills a farmer and several soldiers. Oh, and that brings me to another thing I wasn't so keen on. Unit being temporarily suspended due to financial issues. Yeah, it's a Brexit joke. Considering Tris Chibnall's the one who brought Unit back and created, or at least brought Kate Stewart into the new series in Series 7. Okay, I don't think he didn't create Kate Stewart. She was in an earlier unofficial spin-off. But he definitely brought her to the new series. So, yeah. Considering he brought back Unit and brought in Kate Stewart. Yeah, he just wanted to make a Brexit joke, really. It would have been nice to see Unit again. When was the last time they appeared? It wasn't in Series 10, that was the regular army. Might have been Series 9 with the Zygon 2-parter. Yeah. So, not seen Unit for just over 3 and a bit years. And now they're in financial trouble because other European countries aren't willing to finance them. Brexit joke. Even though UNIT is the United Nations, or at least was the United Nations, now unified. So it was the United Nations Intelligence Task Force. Then later, sometime between series 1 and 4, it changed to the Unified. Probably after the Master became the Prime Minister for a bit, and they realised they made a bit of a mistake. They're not going to do that again, but they're going to change the name. They're going to get more countries in to help them. They're going to operate in those countries, and they're going to stop even more alien threats. Now they're the Unified Intelligence Task Force. Still UNIT, though. So, the fact there's a lack of funding for UNIT, a worldwide organisation, not just in the UK or in the United Nations countries anymore, it's worldwide. Not every country, but quite a few of them. And now they're not getting not getting much funding. I mean, maybe it was a British idea. Maybe like, hey, we have an idea. What if we create this organisation to combat extraterrestrial threats? We call it UNIT. If you guys agree, and we'll start it out, and then if it works, we'll spread it across the rest of the UN. It's got UN support, and then if it works, everybody else can have a go. So, I don't know, maybe. But, I don't know. UNIT really shouldn't have this much of a funding issue, because it's not a European Union organisation. It was firstly a United Nations organisation, and then just a worldwide one. Everyone could have UNIT if they wanted, unless it was seen as too much of a Western thing for Eastern countries, but I digress. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll sort it out by next series. I do hope so. I want them back next series because of this. Because of this, they'll have to come back next series. Also, it does mean Big Finish with their UNIT series are going to have a bit of a hiccup when it comes to them. I think the newest box set came out this month, and it has no relation to this, so they might have to change their plans for future box sets. Poor them. Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. Maybe they can bring them back at the start of next series and say, oh, it's all sorted. Especially if we do leave the European Union this year. The date is supposed to be mid to late March. But with all the stuff that they haven't got that sorted yet, so if we do leave at the end of March before a deal is struck, then we might be in some serious shit. Okay, going back to the episode, I really like it. I think it's really fun, really entertaining, great moments, it's got some great tension, and yeah, really enjoyable, really liked it. And definitely one of the best, if not the best, Dalek story since the Russell T Davies era, maybe even since Parting of the Ways. Although this includes Day of the Doctor, because I bloody love that story. It's my favourite. And yeah, so I don't think it's 100% perfect. I did think that at the start, when I was watching it and after I watched it, but thinking about it, it's not 100% perfect. It's got some good stuff. It's got some strange stuff. So it's not so great. And there is some stuff that does divert away. Like Ryan talking to his dad goes on quite a bit long. Everyone else in my family was like, certainly my mum and sister, was saying, "Get back to the Dalek." They weren't finding that a bit interesting. So yeah, it kind of does go on a bit too long for that bit. And there are some distractions, like the police scene. Although it was kind of inevitable with the car going over 100 miles per hour on a 70 road, I would say. And yeah, but this is kind of about it. But yeah, still really like the story. It's one of the best of the 13th Doctors so far, I think, along with Rosa, Demons, and Kablam. I think might even be second favourites, 13th Doctor, second or third. It's definitely around that area. Of her 11 episodes so far, those are my favourite 4. So, that's it from Resolution, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. that was great. That was a great story. And also, I did a video on the Universal's channel where I put out points of what I would like to see in the story. I'm not going to do a video on that channel about what points it did meet, so I'm going to tell you it now. The first point was the Daleks and how they would be used. Obviously, we've got the Daleks and how they were used. They were used well. They were used brilliantly, and I liked how they did kill people. Not anybody important or necessary. I don't think they've done that since probably Stolen Earth Journey's End, if not maybe Evolution of the Daleks. So that's even further back. But definitely they've done that. Yaz to get more development? No, she didn't. It was more Ryan-centred again. Yasmin needs to get more development and more centre of attention next series. That is a must for Series 12. Okay, third point was it was a good story. I believe it's a good story. Yeah, I thought it was a good story. It was certainly better than some from Series 11 and some of the previous Christmas specials, as well as New Year special. There's only been one New Year special before this End of Time Part 2. And maybe even some of the normal specials. There's only been 3 of those. Feature-length ones anyway. 4 if you count 5 Doctors and 5 if you count the movie. Anyway, fourth was the Doctor's scarf. Yes, she wore that from at the start. She definitely had it in the episode. I don't think she kept it throughout the entirety of the story, but it was definitely in the episode, so I was happy about that. It would be nice to see it as part of her proper costume full stop, but it's nice to see it here at least, so at least got to see it in the episode. And fifth and finally, we had a great time. Yes, we did. So I think it pretty much met all the points apart from point number 2. It had the Daleks and they were used brilliantly, and it had a body count. The story was great. Definitely a better one than some of the Series 11 and some of the previous specials. And Scarf was in it for a bit. At least it was in it. And it was a fun, enjoyable story. So yeah, it pretty much met all the points but the second one. Yeah, Yasmin got less to do in this one and some of the other ones. She was just there. She got some She did help out a bit. She was like using her police knowledge to help. But she just didn't do much. Really wanted to do more next series. So that's it from my review of Resolution. Thank you for watching. No more Doctor Who, the new series, until next year. Unless, like I said, there's a sneaky extra episode or a Christmas special instead of the New Year one. Especially if they're going to start the series on New Year's Day. But, yeah. But I did say in my review of the Romans on the Retro channel that I could do Series 9 on the main channel, as that was 2015. During the time where this channel started. So I could do Series 9 on this channel during this year, maybe. I mean, I would have to take time out of doing the proper order to do this, but then again, we're gonna break away from the proper order occasionally. So I'm still gonna watch every single story in order anyway, even if the reviews for Series 9 will be on this channel and they happen a bit sooner, and I'll still rewatch them again after doing Series 8 and then 10 and 11 as well, even though they've been done, although re-reviews are under consideration, and any other future series. But yeah, so I could do Series 9 on this channel, slightly out of order, but I'd still do a personal rewatch of them after Series 8. As for the Retro channel, going in order, the next review will be the Web Planet. I was about to say the Web of Fear. That's going to be a bit further down the line. So the next Doctor Who review will be the Web Planet on the Nicholas Payne Retro channel. The next Doctor Who review on the Nicholas Payne the main channel, this one, will probably be Magician's Apprentice if I do Series 9, or the Macra Terror. I'm going to do 2 Macra Terror reviews, one for Retro and one for main. If I think I need to do 2, I think I might need to do the same for Power of the Daleks and Shah, the Retro ones alongside. That gives my opinions on the story a few years after doing the ones on the main channel. And the Macra Terror, the new release one, give my opinions on how the re-release, the animated version is compared to how I viewed it in the reconstruction. But then again, I might get to that point in Season 4 a bit too late, so that might not be a point, but I think I think I'll get to season 4 in February or March. Depends on how it goes. We'll see. If that's the case, then the Macro Terror will be coming. There'll be 2 Macro Terrors, along with additional Power of the Dykes and Shardas. Those on Retro, as is one of the Macro Terrors, and then the other Macro Terror will be on here. And then, other than that, it's probably going to be Series 9. But otherwise, I'm not sure. There will be a Series 11 ranking. I've just remembered I've got to do a Series 11 ranking at some point soon. So I'll try and get the Series 11 Blu-ray set before I do that. Maybe even resolutions as well. But I can always use iPlayer for that if I need to do it sooner. So anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne YouTube channel. And the Sherlock episodes. One thing I am not so... yeah, it's a Brexit joke. Yeah, it's a Brexit joke. Now, unified nation. Definitely a better one than from some. So next review on the. This is the DNA of the most dangerous creature in the entire universe. It's not going to stop until it's killed every living thing.